But I want to speak on behalf of council when I say that our deepest and sincerest condolences go out to those affected by this horrible tragedy. None of us can imagine the pain that friends, family, loved ones, and coworkers are feeling at this time. I want to provide our deepest and most heartfelt thank you to all of the first responders who have risked their lives to rescue and recover. We've seen such an immense support from neighboring municipalities and agencies. We've heard stories of neighboring fire companies covering for municipalities who sent their firefighters here to help us and our community. Mayor Samantha Kaag has been doing an admirable job for the community, including the proclamation of emergency in the early hours of the morning following the event. The mayor's proclamation can only last for 7 days unless extended by council, so I've called on our council to reconvene on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock to extend the proclamation as long as our community requires resources to recover. I cannot put into words the amount of love and support that our community has received over the last 41 hours. We've received an outpouring of support from local, county, state, and even the federal level, including Governor Shapiro's visit on the ground yesterday afternoon from the state. We've heard stories of neighbors running out of their homes to help before the first responders even arrived on the scene. We've seen our neighbors, businesses, community partners provide food, water, anything that's needed to first responders. We've seen the absolute best that our tight-knit community has to offer in response to this tragic event. And myself and council could not be prouder of the borough that we were elected to represent. On Tuesday, April 18th, I've asked that our regular council meeting be moved to the West Reading Fire Company so that we can try to begin to pay tribute and heal and begin to scratch the surface on commending our police and firefighters and EMTs and other first responders and agencies and anyone who's shown so much love and grace for our community. Last night, I called an emergency meeting of council in response to some of our community partners doing amazing things. And quite honestly, you can't get much better than the Berks County Community Foundation and the United Way of Berks County who are here. And that resolution, literally wrote it myself and pulled it together, and it's a show of support from council in regards to not just what we're about to announce here with the fund, but also in regards to where those affected can find help, whether it be through the 211 system, through Berks County and the United Way, whether it be through Holcomb Associates, who are located right here at 401 Buttonwood Street in West Reading. That was provided to us by the county as well. And then, of course, RM Palmer has their 24/7 hotline for those affected. So to that end, like I said, we were wondering how we could help. There's not much that council can do in this situation other than provide support. And one of the ways that we were able to do so is bring together our community partners. And most importantly, Commissioner Sahelnick working behind the scenes for us, kind of acting as a point person to bring everyone together to create the West Reading Disaster Recovery Fund in hours, which is incredible. I sincerely, we could not thank you enough for everything that you've done behind the scenes. So to that end, both organizations are here to share how the public can help. And at this time, I'll introduce Tammy White, the president of United Way of Berks County.
I'm here standing with my colleague, Kevin Murphy, who's the president of the Berks County Community Foundation. We want to share our heartfelt concern with the families that have been impacted by this tragic explosion, and our sincere appreciation for the first responders, as well as the West Reading Mayor and the West Reading Borough Council. They have been extraordinary, and everybody, as you can see, has just been working around the clock and tirelessly. Also just want to mention that Palmer is a tremendously important organization in our community. For over 7 decades, they have been a pillar of support and an organization that gives back to Berks County. And we share our sympathy and condolences with them as they have lost friends and colleagues in this tragedy. One of the things that Ryan and Samantha Kaag talked about was the strength of this community and how we come together to help one another. And this is a demonstration again. Yesterday morning, like so many other organizations and people in this community, both United Way and the Community Foundation were reaching out. We were reaching out to local officials to find out how we could help. And mid-morning, we were connected with the council president and vice president, Ryan Lina-Weaver and Phil Wirt. And what we learned, which was no surprise, is that people want to help. They want to provide contributions. And we quickly agreed that we could help. So yesterday, we were able, United Way of Berks County and the Berks County Community Foundation quickly established the West Reading Disaster Recovery Fund. And the purpose of the fund was developed in consultation with Borough Council and also with other local officials. And when we receive the donations, the funds will be provided to organizations that are assisting families who lost loved ones in the explosion, or people who were displaced from their homes or from employment, again, due to the explosion. Any funds that remain will support West Reading Borough in honoring the lives that were lost, as well as the commitment of the first responders. The easiest way to donate is online at bccf.org, or if you would prefer to mail in a donation, you can mail it to the Berks County Community Foundation, noting that the donation is for the West Reading Discovery Fund, Disaster Recovery Fund. Also, just wanted to remind people that PA 211 is available to assist anybody that's looking to be connected to services. Please call 211. There are trained call specialists who will be available to talk with you and help get you directed to the right organizations to provide support. Finally, just want to say that our organizations and other organizations stand by to help as we understand what else can be done, and we value the trust that has been placed in us. Kevin, do you have anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you again. Thank you guys so much. At this point, I'm going to hand it over to Chief Holben to give an update.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Rescue crews worked nonstop throughout the night and continue to do so. On Sunday in the early morning hours, a 4th individual was located under debris at the site. This individual was confirmed deceased. We now have 3 individuals unaccounted for and 4 deceased. We ask for your continued prayers for all involved. I want to assure you all that we will not rest until every single person affected by this tragedy has been accounted for. We are fully committed to this task, and we will do everything in our power to ensure that we bring closure to all those involved. The WRPD cannot express how much we appreciate the hard work and dedication of all the federal, state, local, our elected officials, businesses, and community. This is something I do not take for granted. West Reading, we have your back, and we will get this job done together. Thank you very much.
Chief, do you have an update on the conditions of any of the victims who were hospitalized? I know a couple of them were released.
I do not.
You've been talking about people who've been displaced. Do you have any idea how many of them have come forward or receiving help at this time, and where they were living in that area?
Obviously, the apartments above the building were affected. Thankfully, we have not had any displaced. We have had resources set up for them if so, but thankfully we have not had the need for it. So at this point, we're just kind of asking for patience and time. So all we can really ask from people is kindness and support. As we know, a lot of people's time stopped on Friday, and we're looking to get people answers right now. The family is our focus, but an investigation will be done and will be thoroughly done, and we will try to find answers to why this happened. But right now, we're just trying to get the answers for the people that are still waiting for their loved ones to come home or waiting just to hear something. So thank you guys so much for being here and getting this accurate information out. We truly have a great community together with us. We truly have a great borough that's working together, fire department, police department. We can't be more grateful for our community, but that's really all we have right now, unfortunately.
Mayor, one more thing. Are you saying the cause is still undetermined? I know there's a couple things being looked into.
Still under investigation, yes.
Mayor, just...
Chief, could you describe the recovery and rescue efforts that are taking place and what's being used and how you're going about it?
Sure. In the beginning, we used heat imaging devices, drones. Now we are using heavy equipment to methodically pull debris away from the site to make sure we are taking as much care as possible for individuals that are still inside. So currently that's a long process. So we will continue to do that until it's finished.
Mayor, we obviously, Governor Shapiro was here yesterday. There is this disaster relief fund. Has the White House or anyone federally reached out to offer assistance?
We did get a call from the White House yesterday. They've offered condolences, asked us that if we need anything to please reach out. So we are getting calls from numerous sources, and we're grateful for all of them. We're grateful for the resources that they're offering. Right now, we're just kind of trying to get our feet on the ground and figure out where we can put them and how we can delegate them. I mean, obviously, Council President Lineweaver brought the Berks County Community Foundation in and with help, so we're slowly trying to figure out how we can get those resources here and get help for those that need it.
But just to be crystal clear on the businesses or apartments, are we able to say the number of any other uninhabitable places in that area on South Second Avenue?
There are a few buildings, those apartments that are next to the facility. The building adjacent to the building that was destroyed across the street is another business called C&S Medical Supply, which has had some smoke damage and some structural damage.
Who can those folks reach out to? The same people mentioned?
Yes, absolutely. And we do ask that, obviously the explosion was pretty great, so there have been some residents that have reached out to say that they noticed that some of their windows were cracked, some of the windows had some shatters in them. So we do ask residents to please take a walk around your house, just make sure that everything is safe and secure, and if you have any damage, please contact the insurance or contact us so we can guide you appropriately, because obviously we want everybody safe. We don't want anyone to have a cracked window or step on glass outside of that affected area.
Mayor, you're a firefighter yourself. You've been on this ground since Friday night. The crew's obviously dealing with a lot of devastation there, going through that rubble. How's everybody holding up?
We have a lot of support. We have, obviously it's a lot going on. There's a lot of people, we have people there that are there for 12, 14, 16-hour shifts. We're doing our best to swap people out. We have resources there so that if the firefighters start to look tired, they start to look stressed, it's starting to get to them. We're pulling them aside and getting them the access that they need to those resources. But it's really everybody just genuinely coming together and doing such a diligent and good job that it's really just like a family and a community down there right now. I couldn't be more proud of our firefighters. I couldn't be more proud of our EMS. I couldn't be more proud of anyone down there. We're really all working as a team.
And at this point, it's not just first responders in Berks County. As I understand that you have people coming in from as far as Philadelphia.
Yes, yeah. We've had people, even that day, Reading City was one of the first people to respond because they were the closest, and we had 20 communities volunteer their services even at that. We had people as far as Fleetwood. We have obviously people from Philadelphia. It's people from all over the place willing to help and send people to give relief to the guys that are here that have been here. But really at this point, as a firefighter, and we have to pull them away at this point because they don't want to stop. You know, they want to find something, they want to get answers, they want to do their due diligence. So it's really at this point kind of pulling people to get them to swap out, to go home and take a nap. It's a somber sight at the fire company right now because all of the gear is gone and nobody's there. People are just taking their gear home and sleeping in it and getting it back on and coming right back.
The woman who was pulled out alive yesterday, how's she doing?
I don't have an update on her condition.
Right now, is West Reading still the lead agency on this with help coming from outside?
Correct.
And I know you have a process now of identifying the victims. Are you able to tell us, are they men, are they women? Are you able to tell us any of that?
Out of privacy and respect for the families, we want to make sure that we're getting that information to them before they hear it anywhere else. So unfortunately, right now, we're not going to comment on that.
So it seems like search, rescue, and recovery efforts will continue for the day. At what point might that shift, and what will this look like starting tomorrow, Monday morning?
So we're still working on that right now, and we're working with our chief, Chief Moyer, and kind of getting that sorted. Obviously, he made a statement last night that the longer it goes on, the less hope there is, but we're still hopeful to at least get some answers and get some recoveries so that, people have that reassurance and that closure. But unfortunately, right now, we're kind of just still in the process of it all and still working through it.
Yesterday, you characterized it as a race against time. Today, 24 hours later, how would you characterize it as?
Honestly, it's just a holdout for hope. I mean, we're always racing against time. Like I said, for some people, time stopped on Friday, and we've just been kind of racing and hoping that we could stop it to be able to get answers. But we're just trying to hold out as much hope as we can to get the right answers, to get the quality answers, to get information to those that are affected, and then let it go over to the investigation person. Right now, we're just worried about the families and those that are affected by this.
The three people who are unaccounted for, were they employees of R.M. Palmer?
No, unfortunately, we don't know that information.
And how do you know you only have 3 people who are unaccounted for? There could be someone who was walking on the street, right?
Mm-hmm. Working, yes.
We through an investigation, we determined that we have 3 individuals that we need to be looking for.
What kind of contact do you have with families who are waiting to hear about their loved ones, families of those unaccounted for?
We are going to be reaching out to them today to have in-person meetings with them, to give them information and give them updates. We've had people reaching out. Unfortunately, at this point, we just haven't had information to give, but otherwise, the people of the families that have been, our victims that have been deceased, have been contacted. We have an amazing coroner. George is actually here. He's been working very hand in hand with us, giving us updates. Do you want to speak on the process at all of reaching out?
Sure, if you want me to.
Absolutely.
George Holmes, I'm the Chief Deputy Coroner for Berks County Coroner's Office. So we've been working with the Borough and the Mayor specifically. We've been in good communication with them. Our process involves recovery, identification, and notification of the families. So we are doing that as we recover victims, and we will continue to do that as time permits. We're hoping to have information to the families as soon as possible to give them an update, and I'm in close communication with the mayor and the borough, so we will get that done.
Thank you so much.
Chief, at this point, you have a pretty exhaustive investigative search going on. Do you have any idea how many people were in the building at the time of the explosion?
We don't have an exact amount.
Range?
I don't have an exact range. I know they have an itinerary, but I don't have an exact amount.
Still working on that information.
Are you able to just talk about what those that you know who were in there, what they were doing, just related to their job functions, or?
Unfortunately, anything at this point would just be speculation, and we're not sure what exactly was happening, what exactly was being done, and again, out of respect for the families, we don't want to give a title out and have anybody be worried that it was their loved ones. So unfortunately, we can't comment on that.
Do you have any more information about the survivor who was pulled from the rubble yesterday? Where she was when the explosion happened, where she was found, anything like that?
Obviously, she was found inside the building on the lower floor of the building.
Do you know where she was when the explosion occurred?
It was said that she was on the 2nd floor, and it was very, I don't know what word to use. it was a very hopeful circumstance. She was found, obviously she had injury, but you know, we're grateful that we found her. The dog found her. She called out. It was great that we found her, really.
She was conscious when you found her?
Correct.
So at this point, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to get back. We're going to, obviously, we have a lot of council members here that are doing things behind the scenes. We want to get a lot of this information out and get back on scene. So thank you guys for all your questions and your comments and your concerns. Thanks for getting the accurate information out. Obviously, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
There'll be one more update today?
Most likely, we're hoping for one more update at 9 p.m. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more information there, and we'll have a little bit more information to share. But other than that, right now, that's kind of all we have. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.